All right, guys, what's going on? Let's talk about AI and the difficulty of actually getting AI to actually work or do anything. So, I have been following AI and dabbling with it pretty much since ChatGPT 3.5. What is that, about 2.5 years? And man, has it come a long way. But I think a lot of people are dealing with kind of the same feeling, which is I know AI is powerful, I know I need to be using it, but what should I do? How do I get it to work? And then you start basically trying out all these different tools and stuff. So, anyways, let's get into this. 73% of solopreneurs who try AI for their business quit within 90 days. Now, I don't know where the internet always gets these stats. I think sometimes stats are just kind of made up or they're just kind of exaggerated. But I would agree that probably it's somewhere around there. And it's not because AI doesn't work. It's because they're doing it backwards. And this is something that I'm kind of just starting to figure out myself. The reason why I started this channel is I wanted a way to I wanted some sort of a motivation, inspiration to keep, learning new things, but I could create content and kind of share my experience and share my experience for the last 20 years where I've used virtual assistants and like employees virtually from the Philippines. And it's the whole point is, to get work cheaper, faster, so your money can go a lot further. Well, AI takes it to a whole nother level. The idea is AI tools can literally remove people for a fraction of the price, right? So buying tools for problems they don't have, signing up for 10 apps and using three, waiting for the AI to magically organize their business. I feel like I'm always waiting for AI to be good enough, or like if it's just a little bit longer and AI will be there. The 27% who get it right aren't smarter. They just started differently. And here's what they know. So here's what the 70% look like. And I say this as someone who I definitely was that 73%. And I'm working my way out of that. So this person, you discover AI can help with your business. You sign up for ChatGPT, which was the fastest growing, I believe, software app in history, something like 100 million users in less than a month. Just blew up, right? Then a content tool, then an automation app, then a design tool that now does AI apparently, then three more things you saw in YouTube or TikTok shorts. So you're spending $150, $200 a month on subscriptions you barely understand. None of them talk to each other, and your actual business is somehow still running on spreadsheets and vibes. It's funny because you think everybody's using AI, but you talk to a lot of smaller businesses and they just really aren't, other than just chatting with it like a search engine. So that's not really a stack. That's a graveyard of apps, and there's so many apps that are being built off of apps, meaning they use APIs of ChatGPT. They create an app that you hear about, and then a month later, ChatGPT or Grok or Anthropic, Claude add that feature, and then that app becomes pretty much irrelevant. So the research is pretty clear. The problem isn't the technology, it's that people are collecting tools instead of solving specific problems. They buy the answer before they've defined the question. I'll be honest, I had a lot of subscriptions for a while. I was subscribed to like so many things, and I started removing them and really asking myself, which ones do I actually need? Because it just adds up. I mean, I had Opus, I had ChatGPT, I had Grok, I had Anthropic, Lovable, Suno. Like, it's true. Before you know it, you're spending a ton of money on subscriptions. You don't even realize it. So, what does the working version actually cost, and what does it get you? A functional AI stack for a solopreneur, which solopreneur is really, I think, the dream, right? It's like not having to deal with other employees. You're doing it on yourself, except you're using AI to free you up, yet you're able to make, a lot more money. So a workflow automation runs 75 to 150 a month if done correctly. That's, I'm going to say, 4 to 6 apps in that range. Most of them doing things that used to require hiring someone. Compare that to a part-time virtual assistant, 10 hours a week at $15 to $25 an hour. That can be anywhere between $600 to $1,000 a month. Now, if you hire people in the Philippines or or other third world countries, the Philippines, in my opinion, previously used to be the best because their English would seem to be the best, and they always understood better. But you could get cheaper work in other countries for sure. But anyways, you could have easily two virtual assistants, and you could be spending $1,000 to $1,500 a month. Or if you, or say you're in the U.S. and you hire, it's going to be like triple, quadruple that. So, and I'm talking full time. So, $1,000 a month for 10 hours a week. That's a very part-time employee, and that's for narrow coverage. A 2025 McKinsey study of 2,400 one person businesses found that solopreneurs running AI automated operations earn $127 an hour on average versus now $31 an hour for those working manually, still doing everything manually, copy, pasting, manually inputting things in Google Sheets and stuff like that. So that's not a small gap. The math actually works. The question is whether you're set up to take advantage of it. So, you know, it's true. You have to think differently when it comes to AI, and that's what I've learned myself, and I'm still going through the process. So what's the actual difference between a tool collector and a system builder? It's simpler than it sounds. A tool collector asks, what can AI do? Now, this is exactly what I used to do. I used to be like, what can AI do for me? A system builder asks, what's eating up my time right now? And can AI handle that specific thing? The move is to pick one bottleneck, just one, the task you do every week that takes 2 hours and feels like it shouldn't. Build an AI workflow around that single thing. Get it working, then don't touch it. Let's say don't touch it for 10 to 30 days and just monitor and make sure that it's actually improving. And then you move on to the next thing, the next automation or AI thing. Most solopreneurs who approach it this way see a positive return on their AI spend within 1 to 3 months. Not because they're automating everything, because they've actually automated something. And that is the key. You need to just see something actually working. One working system beats 10 half-used tools every time. So that's all fine and great. But the problem I think a lot of people have is not, I have a business and I'm making this amount of money, and what can I focus on and use AI to automate? I think what people are really searching for is, how can I use AI to make me a new side hustle? Or how can I start a new business? Or how can I do something with AI? So you need to get the first result first, which is you need to be able to set something up that actually is making you more money or bringing you more opportunities than it cost you, right? I personally think if you have a business already running, using AI to improve is really easy, and that is a great opportunity for people that want to basically work, as, let's say, an AI automator, consultant kind of setup. Find businesses, go see what they're doing, and then just start solving one problem at a time. Like most small businesses, they just don't have the time and they don't have the mental capacity to have to take this on, because it is overwhelming and you have to learn. Building a system sounds intimidating. It's really just deciding, I'm going to do this the same way every time and let the AI do the boring parts. That's it. That's the whole thing. All right. I just realized that I forgot to go through some of these images. It's funny because I have AI creating these images, and I flip through them while I do this. So let's move to the last image right here. All right. So human error, right? I should probably figure out how to make the AI do that for me. So here's the bigger picture, because this matters. There are 29.8 million one-person businesses in the U.S. right now. Is that true? I mean, that sounds like a lot. If there's 350 million people, and that includes children, babies, everybody, could that number really be? I mean, A lot of times we see statistics, we just accept it, right? Another 72 million Americans working independently in some form. So I think that would include, people that work at home, even though they're still working for other businesses. A lot of knowledge-based work where people are working on a computer, even maybe in an office, but they're still working independently. So I guess that can make sense to me. Let's see. 72 million Americans work independently in some form. By 2027, so less than a year, that number is projected to hit 86 million. This isn't a niche trend, this is the shape of the economy. And within that group, there are two paths. There are the solopreneurs, which is, I think everybody loves that idea of being your own boss, right? So solopreneurs who are watching AI happen and waiting to figure it out, which is, I think a lot of people are doing that. They're just kind of waiting and just kind of waiting for it just to fall in their lap somehow. That's like doom scrolling, right? Don't be one of those people. And there are the solopreneurs who have picked one problem, built one system, and are now faster and cheaper to operate than they were a year ago. The gap is going to widen. The tools are only getting more capable, and that is true. Every month or two, like for example, vibe coding. I remember a year and a half ago, all the cope of coders were saying that AI will never be able to code at the level. Honestly, and I would disagree and get into arguments and just be like, guys, you are looking at AI right now. You're not looking at AI in a year or two and just looking at the progress and the intelligence of it. People don't like to admit when whatever it is that they've spent many, many years learning, some AI system is going to basically just make it irrelevant. I get it. Um, are now faster, cheaper to operate than they were a year ago. The gap is going to widen. Yes, tools are getting better. The cost is only going down. The advantage compounds. The best time to build your first system was 6 months ago. The second best time is this week, right now. So get started. The deeply ironic part of all this is that the best way to figure out how to use AI in your business is simply to ask AI. Just tell it your biggest time drain and ask how to automate it and tell you. So that's one of the things, especially if you're a manager or somebody who's used to like dealing with employees. You have to get in the mindset that AI is not just something you order around and tell what to do. I mean, sure, that is a part of it. But you have to remember AI in many ways is smarter than you are. So you have to let it be the boss sometimes, in a sense, and tell you what you can do. You have to ask it. You have to say, this is what I'm doing. Maybe there's something I'm not seeing. I'm just going to tell you a bunch of stuff. And then I want you to go through things one at a time. And how you prompt an AI and how you teach it to talk to you will make a big difference. But a lot of times it will tell you what you could maybe do better. And you just have to be specific. You have to say things like, I I don't want you to give me a solution that tells me I have to go hire developers and all these things. I want you to find me a solution that is going to be the cheapest, easiest. It's actually going to take time away and not give me more time. So for all you OpenClaw users out there, I don't know if you guys have tried that new Buzz OpenClaw open software that you load on your computer. Sounds great when you watch YouTubers talk about it. It is the biggest time sink ever. I spent 3 weeks plugging away on it, setting up a virtual servers and even on desktops trying to get OpenClaw working. It was a pain in the ass, and I just got tired of just fixing it. It kept breaking, it kept drifting, and I ended up just digging into Claude code, Claude Cowork, and found out that I can brainstorm on ChatGPT. I can double check information on Grok, the free Grok. And then when I really want to get stuff done, I go to Cowork or Claude Code or Claude Chat. It just seems more capable when it comes to getting stuff done. Anyways, AI doesn't save you time because you have the most tools. It saves you time because you have the right system. So this week, just write down one task in your business that takes the most time for the least reward. That's your starting point, not 10 tools, one problem. Build that first. Everything else comes after. If you want more practical stuff like this, guys, real tools, just follow me, hit subscribe. We're going to keep digging in. You know, I think if you're paying a subscription, the AIs have a lot better memory now. You can learn a little bit about how to set the settings in ChatGPT or say Claude so that the memory is, working for you. Good idea to watch a tutorial on optimizing, the memory in any one of these LLMs. But just kind of talk to it and say, these are the things, because it's like talking to, say, a shrink or a therapist. They get you talking and asking you questions until you start to discover things. So you want to kind of treat AI that way. Just say, I'm going to talk to you and I want you to ask me questions back and forth until we kind of really narrow in what might be the first easiest thing that we can basically find a way to use AI to basically tackle that. All right, guys, until the next video, let's get it.